My name is Adelita Martinez, and I am presently the sectional youth rep for Southeastern Washington Spanish Assemblies of God. We belong to the Northern Platte district of the Assemblies of God. And I'm also right now working diligently and heavily with Cornerstone Youth Ministry at Fuente de Gracia Church in Pasco. Been doing this for a good while. I've been in youth ministry for over 30 years now, and I'm proud to say that I'm one of the older youth ministers around. But I love it. I love it very much, and I wouldn't change it for anything in the world. I like to believe that my mission is to win, build, and send. And through my years of ministry with youth, I've seen many young people come to the Lord and be built and then be sent. And I've just loved that. It's been an exciting journey for me. I got saved, and I love to tell about my salvation story. Ever since I was a little girl, I have always loved God like with a passion. And it's just exciting for me because I love God with all my heart. And maybe that's why I'm in youth ministry, because I remember, I think I was 10 years old, and I would always go up to the altar, and every time they had a salvation call, I wanted to go up and I wanted to make sure I was saved. And we were in a little church in Mesa at that time, and I remember that one of those times that I went up for salvation, my pastor's wife, Sister Linda Rodriguez, bless her heart, she came up to me and she goes, "Mija," she goes, "Have you accepted the Lord?" And I said, "Well, how do you know if you accept God?" And she said, "Well, when you said yes to God, did you feel chills?" I said, "Yeah." She goes, "You're saved." And at that moment when she said, "You're saved," I really felt the salvation of the Lord upon my life. And ever since then, I was on fire for God. I remember preaching my first sermon at that little church in Mesa when I was 14 years old. I remember I even mentioned Elvis Presley at the time. He died a year later when I was 15. So that should tell you how old I am. Back then, we used to have youth conventions and in the summer, as opposed to Thanksgiving weekend like we do now. And went to a youth convention. I mean, I grew up, and when I was in high school, like I said, I was pretty radical. I told all my friends about the Lord, and I would talk to them about Jesus, and they would come to the feet of the Lord, and it was pretty neat. And regardless of that, I was seeking God's direction in my life, and I liked accounting, and I wanted to be a CPA, and so I registered at Central Washington University, to go there when I was 17. But it was at a youth convention that I went, and I was at a point in my life where I needed to decide what was going to happen. But that youth convention was a real blessing in my life. And the speaker, Danny Duran, he was like this ex-football player or something like that. I don't know, the message was outstanding. And he said, if there's anybody here who wants to accept the call of God upon their life and sacrifice their careers and just give it all to God, come up. And I remember what touched me was that fact that when he said, who wants to lay down their careers and just drop it all and just give your life 100% to God. And so that's when I felt the call of God. And I remember that walk from that big auditorium all the way up to the altar. I was just thanking God, and I was just saying, "God, you know what? My life is going to be yours, and that's it." So I ended up going to a Bible college in Arizona, and it was called Southern Arizona Bible College. And those 4 years that I went over there and I got my degree in Christian education were like the best 4 years of the entirety of my life. I didn't know what to do, but when you put yourself in God's hands, God really intervenes and just does an awesome job of doing that. And it's been great. 4 years ago, we opened up work, and now, I believe, and it's called Fuente de Gracia, and I've been working there, and we have an amazing youth group there called Cornerstone Youth. So we meet at Cornerstone Youth Ministries, and that is at 1800 North Road 72 in Pasco. And it's in room 213 of the Faith Assembly building. Every Thursday night, you'll find at 7 o'clock, you'll find awesome youth, awesome worship, and awesome word of God. And If you don't have a church to go to, come there. You'll feel accepted, you'll feel needed, and you'll have a great time. We have a lot of good times of fellowship afterwards. So just come join us at Cornerstone Youth every Thursday night from 7 to 9. So God bless you, and we'll see you there.